Hello dear students, let's start the revision part 1 of exercise question answer of chapter 1, properties and variation of properties, physical and chemical properties of class 10th in subject chemistry. Let's open your chemistry book and come on the page number 16. Question number 1, arrange the following in increasing order of property indicated. So there are some questions, and arrange the following in increasing order of their properties which indicated in the bracket. Number 1, arrange the lithium, beryllium, boron according to their ionization energy. So first, what is the ionization energy? So the amount of energy required to remove one or more electron from the gaseous state of the atom is called the ionization energy. So lithium having the 1 valence electron, beryllium having the 2 valence electron, and boron having the also 3 valence electron. But 1 valence electron in boron is present in the s orbit, 2 valence electron present in the s orbit, s suborbit, and 1 valence electron present in the p orbit. So the ionization energy is maximum in case of beryllium, because beryllium is a stable element as compared to the lithium and boron, because beryllium always having the duet in the s suborbit. So s is completely fulfilled. So beryllium not easily release their valence electron. So beryllium has the more ionization energy. Then the sequence of the ionization energy sequence, beryllium has more ionization energy than the boron and least ionization energy of the lithium. So lithium having the least ionization energy because lithium has only 1 valence electron in the s suborbit. So lithium easily release their valence electron. So the ionization energy required for the lithium is lesser as compared to the boron and beryllium. So the sequence of the ionization energy in among these, beryllium has more ionization energy than boron than lithium. Now second, arrange the fluorine, chlorine, bromine according to their increasing electron affinity. So the chlorine have more electron affinity than the fluorine, and then fluorines, then bromine, and then iodines. Fluorine has less electronegativity than chlorine because due to the crowding of electrons in their second cell, L cell, in their L cells. So due to that, the chlorine have more electron affinity than the fluorine. But whenever we move from top to the bottom in a particular group, then the electron affinity decreases. But exceptionally here, chlorine has more electron affinity than the fluorines. So the order of the electron affinity among these elements, iodines, then bromines, then fluorine, and then chlorines. Chlorine has more electron affinity than the fluorine, bromine, and iodine. Next question, arrange these molecules, these compounds according to their acidic nature. So as you know that all non-metals oxides are acidic in nature and metal oxides are basic in nature. So whenever you move from left to right in a particular period, then the acidic nature of the oxides formed by the elements will increases. So in the third period, the chlorine is present in the right of the periodic tables and silicon present in the left sides of the periodic tables. Phosphorus and sulfur present in between the chlorine and silicons. So when we move from left to right, then the sequence of the elements: silicon, then phosphorus, then sulfur, then chlorines. So chlorine having the more acidic nature. Chlorine is a non-metals. Chlorine oxide having the more acidic nature as compared to the sulfur, phosphorus and silicon. So the sequence here is silicon, phosphorus, silicon oxide, phosphorus oxide, sulfur trioxide, chloro oxide. Now next, arrange the iodine plus, iodine minus according to their increasing atomic size. So anion have the more atomic size than the neutral atoms and cations, and cation have the least atomic size than the neutral atom and also the anion. So the sequence of the atomic size among these is iodine and I minus having the more atomic size than the iodine, neutral iodine, and then neutral iodine having the more atomic size than the iodine plus, I plus. So the sequence here is I plus, I, and then I minus. Now the next question is, among the element of the second period, lithium to neon, I think lithium, beryllium, boron up to neon, pick out the element. Now first, with highest ionization, first ionization energy. So the first ionization energy is highest in case of the noble metals in a particular period. So lithium, neon having the highest first ionization energy. So neon, answer is neon. Next, with the highest electronegativity. So electronegativity in periodic tables is, so halogen group elements having the more electronegativity than other elements in a particular period. So in this period, fluorine having the more fluorine is the most electronegative than the other elements in this period. So fluorine, right answer is fluorine. With the largest atomic size, so as you know that when you move from left to right in a particular period, then the atomic size decreases. So the atoms or the elements which have positions in the left corners having the greater atomic size or largest atomic size. So lithium has the largest atomic size. So answer is lithium. Now next question, that is the most reactive nonmetals. Which nonmetal is the most reactive? So fluorine is the most reactive nonmetals. Answer is fluorine. Now the next, that is the most reactive metals. So most reactive metals is present on the left corner in the periodic table of a particular period. So lithium has the most reactivity than the other elements among other metals in this period. So lithium is the right answer. Now explain. Larger the atomic size, more metallic is the element. So the fact that greater the size of atom, The farther is the valence electron from the nucleus and lesser is the pull exerted on it. So, hence the electron can be removed more easily from the valence shell, thus making the elements more metallic. So, if the size is larger, it means that the valence electron is far away from the nucleus. So, the force of attraction by the nucleus on the valence electron is lesser. So, pull force is lesser by the nucleus on the valence electron. So, the valence electron can be easily removed from their valence shell, and that is make the more metallic character. Now next question, explain. Halogen have high electron affinity than the other elements. So the halogen have 7 electron in their outermost shell. So it can easily accept one more electron to form their octets. For the completion of their octets, halogen accept one more electron because they have already 7 electrons and they require only 1 electrons. Hence, halogen has a high electron affinity as compared to the other elements in a particular period. Now explain. The size of atom changes when it loses or gains electrons. Now, because the change in the effective nuclear charge resulting in force of attraction. So, when the atom loses or gain the electrons, then they acquire the charge. And due to that, the number of proton and number of electrons becomes unbalanced. But the number of protons always same, but the number of electrons varies. So the nuclear charge also affected on the valence electrons, and due to the effective nuclear charge, the force of attraction by the nucleus can be varies. That's why the size of atoms can be changed. Now next, explain K is more reactive than potassium is more reactive than lithium. So as you know that in the metal, when we move from top to the bottom, the size of the atom increases. Due to the increase of their size, the valence electron far away from the nucleus. So the pull force by the nucleus becomes decreases, and the atoms can easily release their valence electrons. So the metals which can easily release their valence electrons, that metals is more reactive than the other atoms, the other metals. This is because K is more electropositive than lithiums. Now next, explain the electronegativity of chlorine is higher than sulfur. So the electronegativity of chlorine is higher than sulfur because chlorine has a smaller size as compared to sulfur. When you move from left to right in a particular period, the size of the atoms decreases. So sulfur comes first and then chlorine. So chlorine has a smaller size than the sulfur. Also, chlorine has more nuclear charge than the sulfur. So the common electron is more attracted by the chlorine as compared to the sulfur. That's why the electronegativity of chlorine is higher than the sulfur. Now next question, explain the group 17 elements are non-metals while group 1 elements are metals, because the 7 valence electron present in the 17 group, the element of the group number 17, while the one valence electron present in the elements which belong from the group number 1. So 7 valence electron present in the elements of group number 17, and they have the ability to accept the electrons, and the elements which accept the electrons behave as a non-metal, and the elements which belongs from the group number 1 having the 1 valence electrons, so they have the ability to lose their 1 electrons, so they behave as a metal. Because group number 17 elements are electropositive in nature, electronegative in nature due to gain of the electrons, while group 1 elements are electropositive in nature due to loss of the electrons and gain the positive charge. So it behave as a metal, and the group 17 elements behave as a non-metal. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.